This is a 1920s Moffett house, and when I moved in about 10 years ago, there were some issues with the siding. I thought it was original siding at that point, but it's not. It would have originally been cedar shingles in this area.
Rebecca loved her home from the minute she moved in, but the problems with the siding persisted.
Some sections of the siding have been replaced over the years, but that hasn't proved successful. Woodpeckers love the siding, and squirrels try to eat it.
As time went on, it became apparent that she needed to take action.
So right here is where a squirrel ate a chunk of my siding. I literally walked out the door and the squirrel was sitting there chewing away.
Being the owner of a historic home, Rebecca reached out to the city to discuss preservation options.
She had a house that was a Moffett house. It was a historic house, and we knew it did not have its original siding.
That's how Rebecca learned about the city's Historic Preservation Fund.
The Historic Preservation Fund was initiated to provide money to property owners in historic districts or in landmark properties to help them to maintain their historic homes and maintain the historic materials in their homes.
There are two different types of funding, grants and loans. Grants are available for owner-occupied homes where the household income is 140% of the median income or less. Loans are available for both landlords and homeowners with household incomes over 140% of the median income. Here's a quick look at the income chart. In both cases, these options provide funding for 50% of the total cost of qualified exterior rehabilitation or preservation projects with a maximum grant amount of $5,000 per project. In order to qualify, your home must be in a historic district, a conservation district, or a local landmark. For Rebecca, it was great news to learn that she qualified for the fund.
This was a project that I knew would be beyond my financial means, and so I just wanted to hear about opportunities they might have or advice they might have, and so I got really lucky that it coincided with when they were starting this grant. So it's really making it possible for me to do the project.
Typically, the fund will first look at preserving historic materials. If that's not an option, as was the case with Rebecca's home, the next step is to determine the best alternative.
And we also knew that the garage was a good example of what the house probably had for its original siding.
Since cedar shingles would ultimately have the same problem with woodpeckers, the contractor and the city agreed on cement board siding as the best option, replicating the pattern found on the garage. The Historic Preservation Fund covered 50% of the cost, but Rebecca still needed financing for the remaining amount. She again turned to the city for assistance, this time discovering GRIP.
General Rehabilitation Improvement Program.
This loan is designed for remodeling projects that fall between $10,000 and $40,000. The best part is the low interest rate.
It's a 20-year loan, and our interest rate is 2.75, which you cannot get that at any financial institution that I know of around here.
To qualify, applicants must live in city limits, the home must be single-family, owner-occupied, and there must be enough equity in the home to secure a loan. There are also income requirements, which are based on household size. For city employees, the incentive is watching an improvement project come full circle.
It's a fun experience working with the homeowners and seeing the transformation of their homes.
And for homeowners like Rebecca, it provides a way to accomplish a project that might otherwise be beyond their means.
I've known I needed to do it for a few years and just didn't know how I was going to do that financially. So really the combination of the two programs made it possible to finally get it done and get it done right.
To see if you qualify for either of these programs or to explore other services and funding for homeowners, visit the city's website at icgov.org/resident assistance.